good habit. But this series is a little over sorts. What's going wrong with him? And what does he need to do to get that?
I don't think it's fair to single out any one player. Batsmen from both teams have struggled, when the occasion demands, right? It's a case of mental resolve, how you put mind over matter, and mental discipline will be the key. As far as batsmen are concerned, going forward even in this test match. He's one of our pillars, he'll remain one of our pillars.
Yes, sir. Shastri, you spoke about mental resolve. What do the batsmen now have to do to cope with the conditions? And what has been the issue?
Conditions have been tough, as you've seen right through this series. But that's where character comes into place, mental discipline comes into place. The resolve to know where your off stump is, to leave a lot of balls, to be prepared to look ugly and dirty, and show some grit.
Ravi, Ben Stokes is back for England, and there's obviously been a huge amount of attention and focus on him in the last week or so. Is that something that are you comfortable with his return, and is it something that India can possibly exploit?
We focus on cricket. He's a terrific cricketer. We like to play against top cricketers. As simple as that.
So you're happy to see him back?
Well, if it's cleared by the courts, what's the reason for him not to play? If I was in England's position, I would have wanted him to play.
Yes. We saw Rishabh Pant today keeping for quite a while and batting also. So is he set for a debut? And what's the situation of Kohli? How is he shaping?
About Rishabh, you'll know at 11 o'clock, day after. Okay, and about Kohli, he's feeling much better. You saw him in the nets, he's moving much better and improving by the day.
Yes.
In such a situation when the conditions are tough and obviously hasn't gone India's way, how important is the coach's role in bringing up the players mentally? You've spoken so many times before that you're more of a don't want to develop onto the technical side, you want the mental side. So what have you said to these guys in the last 4 days?
Just believe in yourself. You've been in this position a couple of times before and you've responded. There's no reason why. One thing for sure in this unit, there's no negative bone. Okay? In spite of what happened in the last test match. Conditions favored England, but that's no excuse whatsoever. It can happen to any side. We are here without a negative bone, wanting to play to win. As simple as that.
Final question in English before we move to Hindi. Yes.
There's always been a chat between the teams on the field. We've seen that some players get wound up more than others. In the past, Ben has been one of those players. You can try and tell your players to take advantage of that and see they can wind you up a little bit over what's going on in the past, or you can tell them to stick there.
This team is not worried about who winds whom up. It'll give you as good as it gets. As simple as that. It doesn't matter if the team is England, Australia, South Africa. We keep it, very simple. If it's a vocabulary I understand, I'll give it back in that vocabulary. Otherwise, in the vocabulary I know best.
So going back a second, just to understand the rationale of thinking. You went with 2 spinners in that conditions, obviously how the forward happened.
Yeah.
Why did you guys make that decision?
What is your view? In hindsight, it was an error. We should have gone with, seeing the conditions, we could have gone with an extra seamer, that might have helped. But there again, you didn't know how much it would rain, whether a match would go into the final day where just in case, spinners needed and the ball started to turn, would we have needed it? So, but in hindsight, the way things panned out, the amount it rained, the amount of time we lost, seamer could have been a better option.
Final question.
अभी अजीत वालेकर सर चले गए हैं उनके बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Very sad. I think on behalf of the whole Indian cricket team, we would like to offer condolences to his family. I knew Ajit very well from a very young age. He lived in the same building as I do. And all I'll say is he was one of our finest captains, a great player manager, when it came to man management skills, and as shrewd as anyone you'll get. As shrewd as anyone you'll ever get as a captain.
Thank you.
Yeah.